Now that we have the shuttle loaded with the bobbin, it's time to thread the head of the machine. I have Coats & Clark thread all-purpose on the top, on the spool pin. I'll begin bringing it over, but I'll set the camera down so you can get a better view. We're going to go into the first thread guide. I'm going to set the phone down here for a moment, so bear with me. I have to pull you back a little bit maybe to get this focused on. Once we're through that first thread guide, we're going to come down to your tension area. I want you to be sure and kind of focus where I'm showing you here with the tension disc. Sometimes it's easy to get the thread behind it, and we want to make sure that you get it in between there. This particular machine, make sure the presser foot's up. So from the spool pin to the first thread guide at the head of the machine. Now we're going between the tension disc, and I'm going to scoot you around to the left-hand side of the machine a little bit. And you'll see right on the left side of the tension disc, we have a small check spring. We're going to put it in from front to back so that it catches that tension spring. From the little tension spring, we're going to bring the thread up to the take-up lever, and it has a slit in it. So just push from front to rear. It will go into the slit. Then on the side of the machine, if you come in from the back, it'll slip into the little loop guide. And then right above the needle, there's another guide, and it will thread from right to left. This machine takes a standard size needle that can be purchased at any sewing shop. It's considered a 15 by 1. Your Smetch sewing needles would work very good in this. I usually pick the Smetch 15 by 1 size, or sometimes you'll see it represented as size 130/705H. So that is what you would be looking for your needles. I'm going to place a needle package here in front. You'll see that 130/705H is the system type. So this takes regular kind of needles. 80/12 refers to the size of the needle, and universal means that it's not a ballpoint or a sharp. It will work well for knits or cottons. So that's what we would look for with this machine as far as a needle. Some vintage machine required other needle styles that are no longer available. And in a video that I've done for the Willard hand crank, you can hear me discuss that when I show you how to thread the top of the machine. This particular machine is threaded from right to left. So when the needle is inserted, the thumb screw for the needle bar would be loosened up. The flat side goes to the inside of the machine as far as it will go in the receptacle, and then tighten down. Make sure that you have a nice length of thread. Sometimes I make sure that I cut my thread at an angle. Once you've got to this part and you're ready to thread it, again, the thread being cut at an angle will sometimes help you get it threaded quicker, a little bit easier because it's not got little bits there on it. But I've been able to thread that now from left to right. Our more modern machines thread front to back, so just keep that in mind. This one, the needle flat side to the inside of the machine, and thread it from the left to the right. Raise your presser foot up, and with your hand wheel, take a full revolution coming towards yourself and then back up in the air. Give a pull with your top thread, and you'll see I take the tip of my scissors and just grab that loop, and now the bobbin thread is in the up position ready for us to stitch. Again, this one is not like it would be if it were back in its treadle, but treadling does take some practice. But the owner's manual that comes with this is available as a free download from the internet. You might just Google the free sewing machine and look for a manual if you don't have one for yours. But it'll discuss threading, loading the bobbin just as I have, but sometimes an actual visual does better than just reading words. So I like to put the presser foot down. Of course, as you're treadling, you would begin to treadle. I'm going to turn the hand wheel towards me though, because again, we're not really in a treadle cabinet. The little bumping up and down, it's not just a straight up and down. You'll see it's sort of like hiccups at the fabric. This is normal for this machine. The stitch length can be adjusted from a knob to the right of this machine below the bobbin winder. So the stitch length is adjustable. I've just set it on a stitch length that I feel would be great for sewing a normal seam. Stop with your needle in the up position. Raise your presser foot. You can remove your work from the machine. And so here is our work. Try to get it to where you can see a nice sample. This furthest one on top is what we just stitched. And the back of it there. So you see it's making a beautiful stitch. I think these old treadle machines and hand cranks are really nice in how they've maintained the ability to sew over a lot of years. This mechanism that I'm showing you right below the bobbin winder is actually how you change the stitch length on this machine here. So it would be unscrewed and either moved up or down and then snugged up, and that would either change your length longer or shorter. So I hope this video has been helpful to you and that you'll enjoy using your free machine. There have been other manufacturers that have the same look of this machine, but you might see a different name here in the top. Actually, the bobbin winder that came on this one was missing all of the silver bits that you see here that actually help the bobbin to be wound. So we're very fortunate. We were able to find someone who had parted out an old machine called the Elgin. And we have since learned that the Elgin was made by the Free company. So it's an interesting little bit of history there. It has basically the same parts, so it worked out really good for us. Again, hope you enjoyed the video and that this has been of help to you. Have a good day.